Hello, people of Earth. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I'm here to talk about The Stars Are Dying because I'm having a bit of a crisis. So, I have not seen any YouTube videos about this book specifically, singularly. I've seen it in like videos where someone's talking about, or a video, I should say, about one person talking about a bunch of books they were reading during whatever period of time. But I haven't seen a lot of like actual. I haven't seen any videos about this book just on its own as a book review. I've seen in-depth Goodreads reviews. I've seen people talk about it in comment sections online. I've seen that the author is very active on TikTok. So I wanted to come on here and talk about it because this book is not doing it for me. I wanted to talk about how I have been debating putting this book down. I want to say, for context, I don't really DNF books on purpose. I will say sometimes I'll just put a book on the back burner for years and then get around to it. That's just I don't purposely say to myself, I'm not reading this, I'm putting it down, and I don't plan on picking it up. I don't really do that. But this book has me perplexed, and I've seen a lot of Goodreads reviews say the same things that I've been thinking recently. So if you don't know, this is The Stars Are Dying. Pretty, we love sprayed edges on this channel. This is the bare book. I took off the dust jacket, but because I think this is a better cover than the dust jacket, and I'm currently kind of reading it. So anyway, it's called The Stars Are Dying, and the book is about what it claims to be about is a woman who doesn't remember anything from like 5 years ago. From before 5 years ago. Does that make sense? So she only has the memories from the past 5 years, and she has all these markings on her. She was taken in by this rich guy named Hector who has like a lot of influence. He has like this huge mansion, and this is a world where there's vampires. There's also different kinds of vampires, and there's this thing called the Libertatum. I think it happens every 100 years or something, and they send like one person from every kingdom to go fight in it, and whoever wins, their kingdom gets immunity from or protection from the vampires for 100 years, something like that. I might be wrong on some of the details there, but it's something like that. Okay, where the main character is named Estrella. She is here. she's here, and the love interest is Knight, Nyte, and he's some kind of vampire, I think. And yeah, so that's the plot. Sounds cool enough. I mean, honestly, for me, I wanted something with vampires that wasn't Twilight, because I don't want to read Twilight. I like the movies, but I don't want to read Twilight. Okay? This book sold me on the fact that there's vampires, but it seems like there's a fantasy element. Seems like there's a lot of dynamics going on. So I bought this book because I wanted to get back into reading after reading, like having a hard time getting into other books I was reading as well. I wanted to get back into reading, right? So I pick up this book. I saw it at Barnes & Noble. The cashier was recommending Bloodguard, but I'm not into gladiators, okay? And I wanted this book is pretty. I'm just a girl, okay? So I got this book, and I have to say I'm conflicted because I don't know where the plot's going. I'm on page, let's see what page I'm on. I'm on chapter 22, page 143 out of, in this edition, 414. So I'm a significant amount of the way through. I'm not at the halfway point or anything, but I'm enough of the way through to where I should be excited, drummed up. Okay? I should be excited and wanting to find answers, wanting to know what's going on. And I'm not. I'm not excited. Honestly, Estrella as a main character is falling flat for me, okay? Because she doesn't have her memories from before 5 years ago, right? So you would think that there's this big emphasis on her trying to figure out what's up with that. What was she doing before 5 years ago? But that emphasis seems lost in the sauce. I'm on page 143, chapter 22, and it doesn't. Does she care? Does she actually care about her memories? I would care if someone told me that not that someone told me, but if I only had 5 years worth of memories, I'd be like, who am I? Who should I just forget whoever I was and become a new person? What's going on here? That's not explored so far. And then I want to talk about the writing as well. I'm going to pivot here because that's honestly all I have to say about Estrella is like, she doesn't seem to care that much about her memories. The writing is flowery, it's confusing, okay? Flowery but confusing, because tell me why I'm rereading paragraphs. I'm 22 years old. Why am I rereading paragraphs or rereading sentences or trying to figure out what's going on by having to reread sections of this book over and over again? And I saw other reviews say the exact same thing, that they have to reread sections of whatever to figure out what's going on, to figure out what the writer is actually saying. So it's not just me. I don't feel crazy. So there's something about the writing that is amiss, that's off. And it's kind of ruining the story for me, because even with what I just said about Estrella, if it was easy to read, I feel like I would have been further along in this book. Like, I don't like Colleen Hoover's It Ends With Us, but it was so easy to read that I quickly was going through those pages. Here, it's a struggle. I got the audiobook so I could speed through it, and honestly, it's helping, but audiobooks can't perform miracles, okay? So, the writing is confusing. I don't know if it's where the prepositional phrases are. I don't know. There's something wrong there, because some sentences just don't make sense. I think one review said something about floating head syndrome, where you kind of don't know where the characters are, so it's just kind of like people talking. I'm not sure if it was about this book, but it was either about this book or a different book. Whoever said that, yes, because sometimes I don't really understand like exactly what's going on. I kind of have to do like, I don't know, so there's something off about the writing where, I don't know, if you've read it, you know exactly what I mean. Yeah. So what we got so far is a main character who seems purposeless and writing that is confusing. We got 2 strikes. Third strike, I was told there was spice. I don't want to sound weird, okay? But there's no spice in so far. There's no spice so far in this book, and I thought there was spice. So, you know, for me, I was like, oh, vampire spice, because I thought that's what would be in here. That's a little bit on me, okay? But I don't know if the scenes are to come. No pun intended. This channel's not made for kids. I do not know what's going on with this book. What is the female main character doing? What is she doing? What is her purpose to this book? What is her purpose to the plot? I don't understand and there's also scenes in here that just seem like they don't belong in this book. I feel like the way I can summarize my feelings on this book is that every scene feels like a bunch of side quests written together. There doesn't seem to be a main plot. It feels like this whole thing is just side quests where we're talking to people like other characters. Why are we talking to other characters that don't seem to matter? And I understand I haven't read the whole book, but like some characters do not need to be in here. Okay? And some scenes don't need to happen because the story drags so much to a point where I am debating DNFing this book. I'll keep it because it's pretty. I'm just a girl. However, will I finish it? I don't know. It might end up on my shelf and then I might revisit it in like 2 years, read 50 pages, and then put it back because I can't. I can't deal with a main character who's just kind of wandering through life, doesn't seem to care about like the memories that she doesn't have, doesn't seem to like know who she is, doesn't seem to want to like either reinvent herself or try and figure out what happened, try and figure out like the markings. She simultaneously seems naive and then on the verge of a breakthrough at the same time. And it's like, when you don't have a character who is harmonizing with the plot, what are we doing? Because I'm confused. What is Estrella doing? And the thing is, when I don't normally put a large stock in reviews, okay? When I'm picking up a book and it has, like, when I go to Barnes & Noble and I'm deciding what books to pick up and read or to buy, right? I'll look on Goodreads just to get a general grasp of the vibes. Do people have mixed reviews? Do people like it? Do people really dislike it? What are their reasons? Then I'll decide for myself, right? This book has mixed reviews. More 4 stars than 5 stars. Mixed reviews, right? A lot of like 3.5 stars. I think if I read this book all the way to the end, it would end up as a 3-star, 2.5 star. I probably won't finish it. But what I saw in people's reviews is that they also didn't get the answers they wanted at the end of reading this. And this is supposed to be a trilogy. I was hoping this was I really wish this was a standalone. I think having 2 books would work. I think having duology works because it makes sense. The stars are defying. I mean, yeah. No. The stars are dying and the night is defying. To me, that makes sense. Like, you have one book that's like Estrella, and then you have the second book that supposedly is about both of them. I get it. However, I don't know what we're doing for 3 books. The sequel comes out this year, and will I be picking up? No. Even if I finish this book, I don't feel like shelling out. What did I pay for this? Like $30, $32, something like that, $33. Excuse me. No. I saw a lot of the reviews saying the stars are dying and so am I, or so is whoever is reading this. And I thought that was crazy. Not because I disagree with it, just because it's like, damn, you know what I mean? So there's definitely mixed reviews on this book. I'm probably gonna DNF it because I'm at that point in my reader journey where I'm actually comfortable with being like, you know what? This book isn't for me. I don't think it will ever be for me. And that's okay. I'm gonna move on because it's going to put me in a slump. I want to read the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. So I've started reading it a bit. It already reads so much better than this one. So the book may be pretty, because let's be real, but it's not working for me. I wanted to make this video because I just didn't see a lot of dedicated videos to this book. I made a short about it, but that was just, I wanted to give more insight, more into my mind about how I felt about this book. Also, how I wanted to maybe be able to bring an opinion that would make other people feel validated as they're reading, because sometimes I'm reading this and I'm like, I feel crazy. So anyway, all right, I think that's all I have for you guys. I will see you in the next one. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this book, your interactions with people about this book, all your opinions. Let me know in the comments. And yeah, all right.